Sing praise, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. Sweet, I once was lost, but now I'm free. Was lost, but now I ceased to be. It was grace that taught my heart to be safe and grace. It was grace that taught my heart.
Love my favorites for sure. Oh my goodness. My grandmother used to sing that song. So if you're coming on, I want to welcome you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I wanted to see, today we're going to be talking about keeping commitments to ourselves. Turn this down. And one of the commitments I had made for this quarter was the Monday Mindset videos. But as you know, life is gonna life, and we can make plans, and sometimes those plans get taken off course a little bit. But what's important is we come back. And the thing about it that we have to remember is none of this is about perfection, okay? And that's why I'm really focusing now on not just helping leaders and CEOs, business owners, but also helping everyone, whether it's teens, but all the way up, becoming the CEO of our lives. Because, like the famous quote goes, how we do anything is how we do everything. So it's great to be great in one area of life, but if we're not bringing that over into the other areas of life, spiritually, mentally, physically, and professionally, then something is going to fall to the wayside. Now, from my experience, especially as a health coach, it's health that we let go. The problem with that is, and this is something that I know firsthand, that I've experienced firsthand, when I let myself go, spiritually and mentally, I am not physically able to show up like I need to show up for myself and everyone else. Now I can fake it, which is what I did a long time ago when I was doing bodybuilding and, I was personal training all the time and I was in the gym all the time. That became a coping mechanism for me. But in my life now, it is not even a choice for me anymore to like place some of the, when I'm really great at this thing, now I need to move it over here and get really good in this area. Because now I know full force that it's spiritual, mental, physical, professional, and financial. Now, professional leads to financial, right? So we have to be able to take the things that we're really good at. So if I say, okay, I'm really good at creating workout programs. I'm really good at recovery and stretching because I've learned all those things. I'm really good with nutrition because I've been doing it since 2007, right? I'm really good in those areas because I've been doing them longer. But when everything else starts shifting in our lives, it's so important that we take care of this and that we take care of our hearts and our souls. And that's what I'm learning more and more over the course of time. So I want to welcome you again. If you're just tuning in, hopefully you've gotten the notification. I want to make sure that you hit that bell and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm telling you, to the best of my ability, I will be here. It may not be the same time every day, but I am going to keep my commitment to myself to the best of my ability to show up and help you guys, even if it's just for that one person that was supposed to hear it. I hope that today's message helps everyone out there If it does help you, I just ask that you share it with somebody else that needs to hear this message. And I just want you to take a moment to pat yourself on the back and think about something that you possess that you're really good at. And I want you to congratulate yourself because you did the work to get really good at that. Now that you've done that, I want you to think about an area that maybe you're weaker in, that you would like to get better at. We're not trying to be better at everything, right? That's the beauty of collaboration. We find people who are good in different areas and then we collaborate, right? But when it comes to health, mental health and physical health, especially in spiritual health, those are things that nobody can do for us, right? Financial health, professional health, like these are things that we can have a coach, right? Like I coach, but if the people on the other side don't do their part, the coaching kind of goes to the wayside, right? I've seen that happen so many times where it's like, okay, if I'm telling you to do the things and I have this all set up for you, like you can't fail at it, right? And I'm in programs like that as well. I can't fail at it unless I don't do it. So that's what I tell people. It's like I can spend all the time creating these things, but if they're not utilized, then it's not going to help, right? Some of what I'm going to talk about today is planning with flexibility. That is actually one of the lessons in module 2, which is the time management module for my Reclaim Your Life course. And it's important to remember that we need to be able to shift and be flexible even when we have this great master plan, right? So today, I want to focus on creating goals and envisioning where we see ourselves at the end of quarter 1 for next year, okay? And I always begin my visions and my goal setting the quarter before. I did not always do that, okay? But I found it to be a much better way to kind of have some sort of roadmap to follow. Because one thing we know is if there's no roadmap and we're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping for the best, it's not going to get where it needs to be. And then something else is going to fall to the wayside. For me, it was finances because I didn't see coming what ended up coming. Okay. I couldn't have planned for that, but I know now how to be better so this never happens again. Today, we're not waiting until January to think about our goals. We're starting now with clarity and commitment, okay? 2 C's, C squared, all right? Clarity and commitment. Like I said, if you're watching this, I would also like for you to get in the chat, drop in where you're tuning in from and what you're working on this quarter or next quarter. Or maybe you're like me and you're a little behind from last quarter. I am just as human as the next person, okay? Now that's when we have to look at things and say, okay, am I still going to prioritize that thing that I didn't finish? If so, if that's still a priority, then I need to make sure that I'm creating a game plan for that coming forward. So there are a couple of things that I planned to get done last quarter, but some things happened professionally and in life where I had to kind of pivot a little bit away from that. And so that doesn't mean I'm going to not do it. That just means it wasn't priority in that time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reformat my game plan for quarter 4 and then plan for quarter 1. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. All right. Let me share a little bit of my current reality. Now, this is not woe is me, okay? But we only see what we see and we don't always see the story, right? So in 2024, I moved out of my house and I am separated currently. I'm paying rent. I have bills. I have a lot more bills than I did before. Also, there's been a strained relationship with my daughter, and I've had to kind of just allow her to be what she needs to be and not push too much, which has been very difficult for me. but it's allowed me to work on me a whole lot more. Financial hardship. I ended up in a business partnership that was not transparent at all and ended up leading me into the worst financial credit card debt I've ever seen in my life. And also, my credit score is the lowest it's ever been. I'm overcoming these things though, because I keep putting one foot in front of the other. I'm not quitting. And every day that I wake up, I know that I have purpose here. And so as long as I have a purpose, I don't have to worry about everything else that's going on, because we know the enemy uses the people closest to us to pull us off course, right? We know this. So in knowing this, it's important for us to say, okay, enemy, you're not going to win, because my God is bigger than you. And we just keep putting that one foot in front of the other. I could not have prepared for this season. I did not plan on this season. I did make some plans, but even those plans are going to the wayside because I definitely did not see myself in the financial position. It was actually supposed to be completely the opposite, where I was going to begin creating wealth for my family and also be able to work on the nonprofit that I wanted to work on and do some really great things. That's where I was supposed to be in this business partnership. However, not everyone is who they say they are, and that's okay. This has been a huge learning experience, and I'm grateful for it, because in this, I have been surrounded by other people who are teaching me more about that area of business than I ever knew I could learn. And now I'm actually becoming really good at it. So everything does truly happen for a reason. So if you're in a season where it just seems like it's hardship after hardship after hardship, I promise you I can relate to you. But what I will say is, whatever you do, don't give up. If you need to take some time, that's okay. I've definitely had to do that. I mean, yesterday I did not even leave my house. I stayed inside, full transparency, because I just needed to be. I didn't really want to be around anybody else. I didn't want to necessarily see anybody else. I just needed to be with myself. And sometimes that can look negative to the outside world, but for those of us who are in services businesses, we are networking all the time. We're building relationships all the time. And so sometimes it's important to just take the space we need and do what we need to do. It's not going to be understood by everyone else, and that's okay. But that's what we need to do sometimes. All right. Analysis paralysis. Don't even let it creep in. Look, this isn't a polished studio video that you're watching right now, okay? But this is what I have for right now. I'm having to be super frugal. I'm rebuilding, but I am still showing up. And at the end of the day, that's the part that matters, okay? I know that God has me here for a reason. And if he believes in me enough to bring me through, I have to believe in me too. And I want everybody who is watching this video or who does watch this video, I want you to say that to yourself. God has me here for a reason. I want you to look in the mirror. So if you need to, pause this if you're watching later, or take your phone with you, go to a mirror. I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to say, God has me here for a reason. If he believes in me enough to bring me through, I have to believe in me too. Say it, believe it, put it on a sticky note and say it every single day, every single night, whatever you have to do. I have sticky notes all over my bathroom mirror right now. Do whatever you need to do and repeat that to yourself until you believe it. And then even when you do believe it, keep doing it, because you're going to have those days where it's going to be tough. Okay? But you can still do it. And with those reminders right in front of you, make sure you not just look at them, but you also say them aloud. because that's going to start instilling a belief system into our programming that we already have. Okay. And some of us have old programming that really, it's going to take some work to try to reprogram, to inject the new code, like I say. Okay. So I want you to really put some time and effort into that. Why do we start goal planning now? January is too late. It's simple. Okay. If we're waiting until the month, right? Like New Year's resolutions, right? Whatever you want to call it, it should be goal planning and vision planning. But if we're waiting until the 1st of January, we're already way behind. And this goes with our health goals as well. Okay. I want to challenge everyone to stop being a New Year's resolutioner. That's going to hit some people real quick. We've all been there. I want everybody who is watching this video, I want you to start your health journey now. And I want you to start it by taking 5 minutes or 15 minutes in each area, spiritually, mentally, and physically. If you take 15 minutes in all 3 of those, it's 45 minutes. It's less than an hour. Go for a walk. Go walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes. If you're like me and you have arthritis everywhere and sometimes it's difficult to walk, do what you can, but do something. Okay? Don't wait until January 1st. You can do this. There's plenty of things you can do at home. There's plenty of things you can do with your body. I have an app where I build workout programs. So you can reach out to me if you're interested in that, and I will build you a customized workout program. I also help you with nutrition and all the other things. Okay. So there's no excuses. Don't wait. All right. Focus on whole life goals. Like I said, and I'm going to keep reiterating this for you. It's spiritual, it's mental, it's physical, it's financial, it's professional, and that's business. Business, or if you're an employee, be the best possible employee you can be. And if you don't like where you are, how can that place become better? What can you do to help make it better? Maybe it's working on you. What are we allowing in? When you go to work, what are you allowing in? Have you worked on yourself before you walk in the door? That's a conversation I had not too long ago. All right. Becoming the CEO of your life means taking ownership now, not later. And people think that CEO means you own a business. Yes, but your health, you are your priority and your business. Your family is your business. These are all businesses where you lead, okay? So you got to make sure that you're putting your oxygen mask on first and you're putting yourself first so that you can show up in all the other areas of life and show up for the people who need you the most, okay? So that's being the CEO of your life. I haven't always been able to keep my commitments to myself, but I've learned to focus on doing the best I can when I can and blocking out time for what matters most. Just like doing this video, I blocked out the time. I'm going to block out the time to put it into the empowerment community inside of the group coaching, the collective that I have. I'm going to block out the time to make sure I do that. That's what I've been doing with these videos because I create experiences, interactive experiences with them to where we can interact with each other and actually create something even better. All right. So it's time blocking. It's progress over perfection. This is never going to be a perfect journey. And that's one thing that I really had to work through because I would get frustrated when things didn't go to plan. But I will tell you, if I look back on my life, most everything that I planned did not go to plan. Like 95% of everything I've planned, right? Like nobody gets married to get separated. Nobody thinks that their kid's gonna stop talking to them. Nobody thinks that they're gonna, go from being great, being okay in life and being able to sponsor their kid for sports to being, negative six figures plus not being able to pay for tuition. Nobody plans for these things, but that's where I'm at right now. And so for me, I'm having to really work towards being okay with shifting and evolving and growing myself, what I can control, and that's me. How I react to these things. Do I throw in the towel or do I keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep going? That's the important part. And that's what we have to really decide. Analysis paralysis, don't wait for perfect conditions. Like I said, look, this is not the perfect video. I hope one day I have this studio and I have these people who can put this great intro together for me and then I can just come on here and do what I love. But right now, that's not what I have, and that's okay. We do what we can with what we have, all right? Because somebody out there needs to hear what I have to say now. So if I wait until I have all that together, I'm missing the mark on what people need to hear now. Because these are still things that I'm going through. And so I don't have to have this perfect setup. What I have to do is keep the commitments to myself and keep showing up. And that's what you got to do too. All right. So let's get rid of that. Start messy, start scared, but just start. And that goes with every area of life. If you're starting in the gym or you're starting an exercise program, it's the same thing. Start messy, start scared, but start. And if you have the ability to do so, hire a personal trainer. Contact me. I'll help you out. All right. Remember this. Faith without works is dead. We can pray and hope, but we must also meet God halfway. The same way I ask my clients to meet me halfway, I have to meet God halfway. And that was a true game changer for me as well, because, I'm pretty new in my faith journey. It's been the last few years and it's been kind of a roller coaster, but I had to keep showing up in that area as well. But he can't do anything if I'm not showing up. All right. So it's the same thing. We can have the most faith ever, but if we're not doing anything to help the situation, then it doesn't matter. Now, that doesn't mean run ourselves ragged. That means getting in tune spiritually so we understand what we're meant to be doing, how we're meant to be doing it, and then we create, we have the people around us who help us get there. All right, we're not meant to do everything by ourselves. So make sure you have a good support team. All right. Practical mindset shift for today. Think about this. Stop chasing perfect outcomes. Commit to consistent effort. When we chase perfect outcomes, this is the biggest reason most people quit. Now, I haven't quit anything. I've shifted, I've evolved, I've let some things go that weren't serving me, but I'm not quitting. If I was quitting, you wouldn't see me here today. All right. So it doesn't matter how many times you have to shift, evolve, and grow. Just don't quit. All right. Your why. This is something I want everybody to understand. And I say this all the time. I tell my clients this all the time, and I remind myself of this as well. Your why must be bigger than your excuses. We all have excuses. We all have 50 million things that we could say that we need to do other than that one thing we know we're meant to do. It's time to get rid of that, because when we go back to our purpose, like, why are we even doing this? For me, I didn't want other people around me struggling, having to struggle like I had to struggle. So whatever I can pay forward to help other people in whatever area of life I can, that's what I'm going to do. That's my why. That's what keeps me waking up every day. That's what keeps me showing up. What is your why? Because once you lose that, everything else kind of goes astray. And then we're not working on the goals that we set for ourselves because we forgot the most important thing, and that's our why. So get back to that. What's the why? I'm going to give you 6 practical guidelines for goals, okay? I want you to grab a notebook or a journal. And I'm going to give you a simple framework, all right? When it comes to spiritual, and I'm sorry, I said 6, but I'm going to give you 4. We're going to go over each area. When it comes to spiritual, what will keep you rooted in God? For me, I know now the way things are going in my life, it's not even a choice anymore. It's a must. I must stay rooted in God right now. Mental. How will you take care of yourself? I encourage you to become very self-aware because, I have programming of people pleasing and, putting too much pressure on myself. So I have to combat that a lot. So how will I take care of myself? How will I take care of my mindset? Like I said, I have sticky notes on my mirror and I say the things that I need to say to myself to get myself in that frame of mind of, okay, I can do these things. Physical, what health habit will you commit to? I want you to write these down. I want you to commit to something in each area. For business and finances, what's one priority goal for Q1? And remember, one step in each category is better than none. So if you only got one thing in this category, that is fine. That is so much better than nothing. All right. Remember, don't overanalyze. Take a leap of faith. It's not going to look perfect starting out, but with consistency, it will get better. And I promise you this because I live it every single day. There's absolutely nothing I'm going to tell you to do that I'm not doing, actively doing. It takes being intentional. It takes prioritizing certain things. It takes time blocking. And it takes flexibility. My challenge to you this week, because we're on Monday. So my challenge to you this week is to write down your top 3 priorities for Q1. 1 spiritual, 1 personal, and 1 business. And I want you to start working on them now. Like I said earlier, if there's anything left over that you need to start working on in Q4, I want you to pinpoint those things. And the same thing, 1 spiritual, 1 personal, and 1 business. What is priority now? And then carry over into the next quarter. Don't put too much on yourself, right? When I talk about New Year's resolutions, we all have heard the New Year's resolutioners, right? In the gyms, I've worked in gyms for over 25 years. Okay. The problem is a lot of people try to go all in too fast, and that's why it doesn't last as long. So I want to encourage you, start slow, but just start, right? Again, subscribe, make sure you comment. I want to hear your goals. So comment your goals here. Join the Lady J Empowerment Collective group coaching. I have live calls in there as well. You'll get members only access to workout programs, information, and all of the other things that I have in there. Tons of videos, tons of content, tons of education that I share in the group coaching collaborative. All right. And then share this with a friend who needs encouragement. That's my challenge for you. Subscribe, hit that bell so you know when I'm going live, comment your goals, and then share this with a friend who needs the encouragement. I see that there's no questions today, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But like I said, you can come in here and comment, and then I'm going to have the link for the community so you can go in there and engage as well. And keep your responses practical and faith-filled, please. Please, no negativity here. We don't want to have to delete any comments. So please just, I understand everybody's going through something, but I just ask that you keep your comments, like I said, practical and faith-filled. What's keeping you going? What goals are you going to set? And how are you going to keep showing up for yourself and those around you? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a blessed week. This is Jody, aka Lady J, and I'm signing off for